They told me for years there was no money in podcasting. Well, they were all wrong.
I mean, there's a few movies I can think. There's actually just two movies where as soon as I got to the ends, I had to go back and start it from the beginning, like that second.
Yeah.
One was A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah.
Because that movie is just, this just cost a 50th year anniversary. And me and Jazz watched it like not too long ago. And it still hits, dude. The movie's incredible. But I only didn't watch it again because it was like 3 a.m. Like, and I'd be home from college break. And, I was in college, so I didn't go to sleep like ever. So I went to bed like at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I started the movie at 1 o'clock in the morning. Then at 3 o'clock here, I was just like, I'm going to bed. I'm too tired.
That's a thick movie to start at 1 a.m, dude.
I know. Dude, tell me about it. I didn't know what I was getting into. I saw Kubrick, love Kubrick, never saw the movie, wanted to see the movie. So I watched it. And 3 in the morning, I was like, no, I'll watch it in the morning. So I woke up the next morning and watched it again. But the other movie was Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
And by the time that movie ended, I just went right back to the beginning and started it over. That movie was only 90 minutes, so it's 2:30. It's like I can go to bed at 4.
Yeah. Well, that movie's perfect too because just the way that the story's told, once you get to the end, you have a way better understanding of what like actually happened, And that's kind of like that's what storytelling is to me. And it's funny because I swear I saw this quote, but I cannot find it. So I don't know if I hallucinated it, I made it up, but I'm pretty sure it's from the Safdie brothers. And it was on Good Time. And they were like, the mark of a good movie is that it leaves you with something. What that something is, it can be totally undefined. You might not understand it right away, but a movie that like you can't stop thinking about is a good movie. And this movie, Good Time, the way it ends, it's like I really don't want to give anything away about it, but it's a very fast-paced movie, and then it kind of just hits a wall, and you're like, whoa. And in that like wake of that, you're just like, what was going on in this movie? And it's like a feeling inside you that you just need to get it out and like have a conversation about it. And what I love about doing Midnight Showing with Nash is that like we'll watch a movie, I'll be like, I don't know if I like that, or I don't know if I really connected with that, and then just having that conversation with him about it 9 times out of 10 will open my mind to something I didn't even notice in the movie. And we've been doing it long enough now that like we'll be like, okay, we have an idea of what our conversation is going to be. Then he'll say one thing and my mind will do a million things, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't even think about that. And then I'll say something and his mind will be like 1,000 other things are like, where did this go? What is this thinking of? And I think filmmaking and like storytelling is so cool because in theory, there's really no wrong answers. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's all subjective. But like, what's your favorite aspect of, I guess, the creative filmmaking process? Like, for example, mine is I've picked up a lot of like sound design and sound mixing. Yeah. So like if I'm watching a movie, I'll pick up the different like aspects of what goes into the scene. I can picture how it looks in Premiere or Audition, because like most of the sounds you hear on a movie was recorded not on set.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like including the dialogue.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's crazy. And that's one of those things where you think about it and you're like, no way they do it that way. Yeah. You're like, no way they're in like a studio like re-recording.
They'll literally just take like chainmail and just shake it in front of a microphone, or they'll just get footage of like armor being thrown downstairs. I'm using like a medieval reference because it's something that makes loud noises, right? Or like they'll cut trees and just put a microphone next to someone cutting trees and put it into the movie. And you got to mix what audio levels go, because it has to mix with the volume, has to mix with the actor, has to mix with other sound effects. So it's like a sound effect will be recorded, but you can't really hear it by itself, but when it's mixed with everything else, it sounds perfect.
Well, and even I'll admit I am in a relationship at this moment in time, and she does love watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. So at this moment in time, I do watch The Bachelor on a weekly basis, and it is like pretty crazy when you start to listen to how much they edit these people down, especially when nobody's on screen. You can like I edit audio professionally, so like I kind of have more of an ear for it because I know how it sounds when things are like quickly cut like that. But it's crazy just like the way that you'll feel like they're just building sentences that people didn't actually say, or not necessarily didn't actually say, but just cutting out massive chunks of it to like go along with the story. And they have like these live events where there'll be like a crowd laughing. And it's funny to think that like, okay, in the moment when someone actually made that joke, it probably wasn't that actual line of laughing in that actual shot of the crowd. And then it becomes weird because you're like, was that shot of the crowd actually at the end of the thing? You know, that's kind of like the stuff in production that you don't really think about.
Yeah, I call it my third eye, or in some cases my third ear. It's like I'm picturing what the editing process looks like. Even like with YouTube videos, I look and go, oh, I could do that in vMix.
Yeah,
right. Like I understand how like I'm putting the pieces together and how to do it in my head.
Yeah,
and it's just like, dude, if I had a budget, it's like the shit I think I could do, because I would love to like do even just a scene. I don't want to do a whole movie because I would take. Screw that. But even a scene of doing that kind of sound design, sound mixing, and the mastering and all that jazz, I think that would be incredible.